Hey everyone, Jason Schapper of M08.com. I'm out here, it's 12 degrees at Niagara Falls, and I wanted to take a moment when it's freezing all across the country to talk to you guys about winter flying. Let's go ahead and get to the video. So how cool was that? Niagara Falls was part of the secret honeymoon I had planned for Ashley and I. We had an absolute blast up there, but it really brought to my attention how gosh darn cold it is up north. That was we're actually up in Canada doing that, and it was 12 degrees. It was absolutely freezing. So I've compiled 6 great tips for you guys to make your winter flying more enjoyable and, most importantly, more safe. So the first thing is, try to keep your aircraft hangared. If that's an option for you, I highly recommend it. Hopefully your flight school is doing it for you, and hopefully you as an aircraft owner will be able to do it or are doing it now. It makes pre-flight, it makes everything just so much easier. Now, to add on to that, if your airplane is tied down outside, don't rush your pre-flight just because it's freezing. I flew a year up in Massachusetts in the freezing cold with tied down Cessna 152s, and it was cold. And the tendency was you wanted to rush that pre-flight because the snow was blowing, it was freezing. All you wanted to do was get in that airplane and get that prop turning so that cabin heat gets working. But that's not the right thing to do. Take your time on those pre-flight inspections. Having a hangared aircraft makes it a lot easier. Also, dress to survive. And you don't normally hear me talk about these kinds of things. Don't show up in your flip-flops and a pair of jeans going flying over the snow, okay? If something were to happen, you'd be able to dress to survive. Now, when we were up in Massachusetts, we still wore our ski coats and everything else like that, but in a 152, I'm 6'4". A ski coat makes it a lot more difficult to get in and out of that airplane, let alone fly it with an instructor. So what we did is we typically brought space blankets with us to keep in the back and had a little survival kit. So that's something to think about as well. The third thing is be aware of engine fire on start procedures. When that engine is cold, it's not going to want to start. You're going to have to prime it like crazy. You're going to have to do all the tricks in the book. And that's just going to be feeding the fire for a fire. Does that make sense? Engine fires on start are more common up north or just not necessarily up north. I mean, it got down to 40 degrees in Florida the other day. So they're more common on colder days. So have those engine fire on start, whether the engine starts or whether it doesn't, procedures down cold. No pun intended. Allow time for the engine to warm. Slow it down on the taxi. Do the run up a little bit longer. Give that engine temperature time to increase. Watch that oil temperature gauge. Make sure everything is working properly. You don't want to be flying down the runway trying to force that engine when it's freezing cold. Allow that engine to have time to warm. Our fifth thing is apply carb heat before takeoff. This just happened the other day. It was a cold, foggy day in Florida. My student and I came up. We were departing IFR. We were getting ready to depart. We said, well, let's apply the carb heat. Sure enough, we applied the carb heat. We got a drop followed by a rise, which means what? Which means we had carb ice. Now, I think if we tried to take off on that circumstance, apply full power, and we've got ice blocking fuel to our carburetor, to our engine, to the lifeblood of that, while we're departing IFR, low altitude. Not cool at all. So apply that carb heat before takeoff. Now don't forget to turn it back off. But you check it once during the run up, maybe once you get cleared for takeoff or right before you make your call to depart. Go ahead and apply that carb heat one more time, especially if you're sitting a while waiting for your departure. And lastly, have alternate airports in mind. Snow blows. If you've ever seen ice fog, it's nasty. Runways freeze over. They can't get plowed in time. Have alternate airports in mind. Don't just stick with your home base airport. Know the frequencies, know the runway layouts of other airports nearby, and know how to get to them quickly. If you guys, I want to know what your experience has been this winter and in previous winters. If you are on m0a.com, leave me a comment below. You will for sure get a reply from me. I can't guarantee replies on YouTube and other websites, it's just too much to check. But if you're on m0a.com, you leave me a comment about your winter flying experience. I want to hear it. If you're not on m0a.com, go to m0a.com/winter-flying and leave me a comment below the video. You don't have to register or anything like that. Just go ahead and type in your comment, and you know you'll get a reply from me. Guys, thank you so much. Be safe this winter, and most importantly, remember, a good pilot is always learned. Have a great day, guys. See ya.